What is going on, guys? We are getting an early start today. Today we're going to be replacing the rear motor mount on my Vibe. I got to get the cars swapped out and jacked up, but basically the rear motor mount is completely toast. It's literally resting in the frame of the old mount. So we're going to get that swapped out. So what I'm going to do is just pull the old one out, and then when AutoZone opens up, go and grab a new one, swap it in. Technically, it's usually better off to replace them in pairs like rear and front. Unfortunately, AutoZone only has the rear in stock, so I'm just going to start off by replacing that one since I know it is damaged, and then we'll go from there. Guys, so just real quick before I gotta change my battery out, I have gotten the main bolt out and all the base bolts. Now I just need to pry out the old one. As you can see, my impact is just kind of shoved down over there. Unfortunately, there is not a good way to get a wrench in there to remove the pass-through bolt for the bushing itself. So all I did was just kind of get my drill shoved in there and then line up the deep well socket so that it had a little bit of space to stay away from whatever that firewall mount is, which I believe is the power steering rack or something. But anyways, I put a deep well on it so that it could extend out far enough, and then got that pulled out, and then removed all three bottom bolts. All of them are 14 millimeters, I believe. For the two that are recessed under the subframe, you do need a deep well socket. But basically I got all that out. Now I just got to get the engine lifted up, which I'm either going to end up using my jack or the hoist and just pulling that backside up a little bit so that I can try to wiggle that mount out. But yeah, I got all that stuff out. Gonna go swap out camera batteries real quick and then decide whether I'm gonna use the cherry picker or my jack to try to lift the engine up a little bit. See you in a sec. Alright guys, we got the old motor mount out. Now we gotta run to AutoZone because AutoZone says that they have a Duralast one in stock. Honestly, Duralast usually isn't a very reputable brand to me, but it does have a lifetime warranty. So even if I gotta do this every 30,000 miles, you know, I'll get faster at it each time, but I don't got to pay for the replacement. So let's run down there and grab the replacement. Alright guys, just picked up the new motor mount, and just something quick, you always want to make sure you check to make sure that these are the same exact ones, because honestly part stores will get it wrong. But anyways, these two match up really good. This is what the old one looks like, this is what the new one looks like, just so you can tell the difference. This one actually looks solid versus this one had floating spots here and here and then a backing cover. So honestly I think this might end up feeling a lot better and possibly, I mean I don't want to jinx it, but even lasting longer. The connection area in the middle is pretty thin, but honestly I mean the fact that it's even there is better than the old OEM mount. So let's get home and let's get this one thrown in. Alright guys, so we just got the new motor mount in. Getting the old one out was deceivingly easy. So what I did not realize was with the OEM mount, you could knock all the studs out of it because they're just splined up. So you could punch them out. And I did that with the OEM one on the rear long stud when I was removing it. But what it ended up happening with the new motor mount was that the studs are actually tack welded to it. So I ended up having to cut the back one. Honestly, I'm going to test it out with just the main bolt and the two studs. I don't see why that would be problematic. But worst case scenario, if I still feel movement in the engine or see movement in the engine because that one bolt isn't there, or you know, maybe it looks like it's going to twist the motor mount or anything like that, I'm going to drill up through it because I trimmed it up almost flat. I'm going to drill up through it, drop a bolt down through it, and then just attach it that way. So that won't be too hard. But let me take you down here real quick. Show you the new motor mount. And honestly, if you have a lift, God bless you. Because doing this thing on jack stands sucks, and honestly doing this mount period sucks. So let me get you guys up in there. Can't quite tell if I'm getting the light on it, but that's it up there. It is all in. I let the engine back down on the bolt and then tightened it down because I know you're supposed to load most bushings with weight on them already. So I just got the bolt in to the point where it would support the bushing, and then tightened it down. I just kind of shoved my impact over off to the left hand side of it, and that's how I got it tightened down. And then both these studs are in with the nut back on them, and then I got the main bolt back on. This right here is where the where the other stud will come out. So like I was saying, you can see the end of that, and if I feel like I'm gonna have a problem, I'm just gonna drill up through that, drop a nice long bolt down into it, and put a nut and washer on this end of it. Let me get back out. But definitely a huge improvement over what the old one was. The old one was completely cooked. The one side was completely detached. Actually, well, I have it on jack stand still. I'll set you guys right here. I'll start the engine up. Because usually when it would fire up for the first time, there would be a little bit of a kick. So get a quick cold start with the new motor mount. See about any movement, maybe do some revs. So the car is back on the ground. We're gonna take a quick run just up and down the street, or up and down the road out of the neighborhood or something, see how it feels. So let's hop into that. guys, so as you saw, Anthony, my neighbor, recorded some flybys for me. The car feels way better. When I went to the top of the road and whipped a U-turn really hard, the car stayed in it through the whole way. There was no shakiness in the power band. Now, I don't want to say that that fixed my intermittent issue because it might not have, but I did see something about motor movement could trigger a knock sensor and pull timing, so it's very possible that was happening with me. But the car does feel better, at the very least taking off. I can go from a dead stop and take off and the car doesn't fling back like it used to. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to drop them down below. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.